the name of God, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Dearly beloved people of the public domain, it is our great thankfulness that we're here being able to share with our public domain these things that are important and that benefit us. And the topic today that we want to talk about just for a few minutes is the word peace. The word peace. And peace is something that all of us strive for, no matter what we're going after, no matter what we're after, no matter what we're striving for or trying to acquire. The fundamental force that is driving us is to arrive at a state of peace and contentment of the soul. Now, I want to go on record to say that when we say Islam, we're saying submission to the will of God, defined in the English language. Islam means submission to the will of God. We actually term it Al-Islam. Al means the, and Islam means submission to the will of God. So when one says, I don't want to hear Al-Islam, I'm not interested in Al-Islam, in English, unbeknownst to them, they're saying, I don't want to hear about submitting to God. When we talk about peace, we say, As-salam alaikum. And when the prophet Jesus said, peace be upon you, he spoke in his language, peace be upon you. And in the Arabic language, when we say Assalamu alaikum, though it's in a different language, it's in the Arabic language, we're saying the same thing that Jesus, the Christ said, peace be upon you. But we're not just wishing any kind of peace be upon you. We're not wishing the peace that intoxicants can temporarily bring upon the soul. We're not wishing the peace that a whole lot of money that can temporarily bring upon the soul. We're wishing the peace that only God can establish upon the soul, that remains perpetual as long as the individual by choice chooses to operate in that peace. How do we operate in that peace? We operate in that peace by giving our souls, our minds, and our hearts over to the creator of the heavens and earth, that one that made us and gave us our life in the first place. And when we give our souls over to him in that fashion, peace becomes an automatic result to the human soul. When we know that when you pull a thing in the opposite direction in which it has been designed to go, you bring friction into its life. And environmentally, many are being pulled in different directions opposite towards their souls that have been designed to go. And you see friction all over the place. But every now and then you see some of us that are so in tune with submitting ourselves to the creator of heaven and earth that we find these people operating in perpetual peace. They're always happy, they're always smiling, they always seem to be content, and this is a result from submitting to the one that gave us our life in the first place. So when we talk about peace, we're talking about that product that can only come down from heaven, that can cause the human soul to find relaxation, to cause the human soul to be operating in a lack of agitation or disturbance. And that peace can only come from the one that made us in the first place. So in closing on this topic, as long as we strive away from that which is right and that which has been ordered for us to strive in or prescribed for us by our creator, who knows us better than anybody else, as long as we strive away from that, we're going to always have friction in our life, confusion in our life, a hostile and a non-cooperating society. But as long and when we come to the universal concept of the monotheistic purity of God and begin to operate as a human family and respect the rights of every common citizen, we will never know peace. Thank you so much for the time you've given us to hear these few words. Peace be upon you.